Breaking. Bitcoin has just printed this highly important candle right here. This candle often surprises the high majority because Bitcoin does the same type of move every time after this type of candle. I need you to be ready for what Bitcoin is about to do, because this whole move that Bitcoin is preparing to do is all going to be because of this candle that just printed hot off the press. Now, aside from that, we've got to talk about how this candle closed below this green line, which, if you know the bull runs, this happens on very rare occasions. And right following that move, the same move always plays out. And I need you to be ready for it so you're not surprised and you know what to do with your portfolio. On top of that, we've got to discuss the middle of our screen, the RSI on the weekly chart, just having yet another lower low and also breaking some key market structure. We got to discuss what is about to happen next with the RSI. And then bottom of our screen, the star of the show, the stochastic RSI is getting close to a monumental cross, and maybe there's a hidden clue as to what is about to happen next with this as it relates to this candle. Well, it all comes back to this candle right here. This candle holds the key. This candle holds the power, and everything is going to be related back to this candle that just printed. In today's video, we're going to discuss the facts with price action, with this candle, with this moving average, with the RSI, with the stochastic RSI, and I'm going to lay out all of the facts in front of you so that you have a clear idea of what to plan for and what is about to happen next for Bitcoin. Let's get into it. Today, I'm unlocking a huge bonus video, my prediction on Bitcoin's next huge move with the 2-month candle versus the stochastic RSI. This prediction will not be discussed here on YouTube. It will be for free on my email list. If you're on my email list, this video is waiting for you right now. If you're not on my email list, you are completely missing out, and you need to sign up right now for free, and you can instantly unlock this video. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com. Go now and instantly unlock this highly important video. Hi, I'm Steve. I quit my job over 13 years ago, been traveling the world since, thanks to my trading and investing skills. Join me for sponsorship-free TA with genuine value that actually works. Subscribe. Here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar, and we are on the weekly chart. 3 components of today's video. We've got price action, we've got the RSI, and we've got the stochastic RSI. All of them will be happening on the weekly chart, and the star of the show is going to be this candle that's hot off the press. And the second star has to be the stochastic RSI, and the third one will be the RSI. Let's start with price action so you can see clearly what we've got laying in front of us, because there are some huge clues, mainly this candle that just printed. Let's talk about it. So as we zoom into price action, you can see right away that we have been range bound for about 112 days. Now, a lot of you are overwhelmed with all of these moves inside of Bitcoin. If that is you and you're new to our channel, take a deep breath. I told everybody that follows me a couple months ago, any move of price action in between here is irrelevant. Everybody overreacts. I do not want you to overreact, but certain candles have the power to get us out of said price channel. Those are monumental candles. That's what we're going to be discussing today. So what we've got as resistance is up here about 73,600. Any move below that is not really relevant. It's not very important. We are range bound, right? We've been range bound for 112 days. Simply put, the markets move in 2 types of movements. There's range bound movements and trending movements. Trending are these types of move where you're trending up, or you can be trending down, like in the bear market. Trending can be up or down. Range bound is just moving sideways. Now, range bound is very, very healthy because it builds critical market structure. But then once in a while, you print a monumental candle that has the power to really change things. Those candles we've got to discuss. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. As we dig into it, you can see this candle that we just printed has little to no upper wick. Huge clue. This candle also has a thin body. Another clue. This candle also has a long lower wick. Now, this candle is called a hammer candle. What kind of hammer? We're going to get into it later. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? We're going to get into it later. But it has monumental power. However, it closed below this green line. Now, how did we get to this point? Well, Bitcoin was in a trending market here. Once it broke out of our January into this new year, we started trending at the beginning of this year, right? We trended from about 42,000 up above 73,000. That was our trending market. What typically happens after a trending market is you have an area of consolidation, an area of structure. It happens the same when we crash down. You'll often see when we crash down, it's a very parabolic move, a volatile move, a bloodbath of the move, but then the market moves sideways. Why? It builds structure. This is a very healthy thing for the market to do. So is it a concern that Bitcoin has been range bound for 112 days? No, it's par for the course. Here, we were range bound for almost 100 days. Here, we were range bound for almost 200 days. So the market typically moves sideways. It's only on occasion that we're a trending market. Most of the time, we're actually range bound. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's just the facts. Whether we're going up or down, you can see the high majority of this move, we were range bound. We were range bound for almost 200 days here, almost 100 days here, and 112 days here. It's only on certain times where the market really moves. And those are the ones I need to prepare you for. Those dramatic moves down and those dramatic moves up, you've got to be ready for those because they're few and far between. So now that we understand that we have been range bound, but how did we get here? If you rewind the clock, we had been at 42. We rallied all the way up above 73,000. We were above 73,000. The market was on fire. It captivated the world's attention and everyone started screaming for 100K Bitcoin. Now, as you know, the 5.3 theory says no 100K this cycle. We kept that in mind, but we were looking at the facts. And as we were studying the facts, as we were sitting pretty above 73,000 and everything was looking incredibly bullish, this is what I had to say in the market. Roll the clip. Attention cryptocurrency investors and traders. There is a major correction coming to the crypto space that will take the world by storm and surprise most, but it's going to present one of the best buying opportunities of this bull run if you've missed out so far. So at the time that I released that video, it was remarkably unpopular to say what I had to say. I said a crash was coming. People said I was crazy. It was literally a laughable thing to say. And now, 112 days later, we never have come close to 73,000. We haven't come close. In fact, we did crash multiple times below 60,000. So we're right on schedule. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. And the next move is really going to be predicated on this candle that we just printed. And I need to get you ready for it. Now that we understand this candle is a hammer candle, it's got a thin body at the top, a long lower wick, and it closed below the green line, let's stack the facts for the RSI and the Stochastic RSI. And then we're going to revert back and I'm going to tell you what you need to know about this candle and how it's going to impact the next big move in crypto. Middle of our screen, the RSI on the weekly scale. What you can see happening is, once again, when we reached up to that 73,000, we got up here on a weekly RSI of 88. Now we have to pump the brakes, and if you're new, take a deep breath. Don't overreact to everything like Grandma Betty. Grandma Betty is the leader of the herd. The herd is always running around like their hair's on fire. Every day when Bitcoin goes up a tiny bit or down a little bit, they're like, oh, this is it. This is the end of the world. This is the rally. This is the bull run, whatever. Take a deep breath and look at the facts. The facts are when we were above 73,000, we got ridiculously high in the RSI. Ridiculous. Once again, RSI is overbought, oversold. Today, I'm unlocking a huge bonus video. My prediction on Bitcoin's next huge move with the 2-month candle versus the Stochastic RSI. This prediction will not be discussed here on YouTube. It will be for free on my email list. If you're on my email list, this video is waiting for you right now. If you're not on my email list, you are completely missing out and you need to sign up right now for free, and you can instantly unlock this video. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com. Go now and instantly unlock this highly important video. So everybody was buying Bitcoin here. It was one of the highest buying times for Bitcoin in its entire history. We just have to zoom out and look at more than a decade of information. And we say, oh, it doesn't get above here very often. In fact, we can count them on our hands. That's how rare of an event that was. The market needed to cool off. It was unthinkable for Bitcoin to rally to 100K. I know that's what everyone thought was going to happen, but it was not realistic. So since then, Bitcoin has simply broken every layer of structure that we had with the RSI, right? You can see we built this pivot low here back in January of this year, right? Many, many months ago, we had this. We broke it really quick. And when we broke it, we tried to regain some structure and bounce back. But that bounce back was a failed bounce back because of this top that we had here in April of 23. So we had some resistance here that we had broken, and it turned into resistance, right? This area was our support, and we broke it. It became our resistance, and then we got resistance once and twice. And as soon as we couldn't break it the second time, it plummeted us down to a new pivot low. Our previous pivot low was here back in May, and now a new pivot low. What happened to our structure? Well, our structure was really, really well put together up until this point, right? You can see that we had just broken that recent structure layer of about 59 on the weekly chart. That's coming from this pivot, and this pivot from back in 2023. We had just broken that. That is a huge clue. I want you to keep in mind what is happening now. But as we speak, Bitcoin is hanging out above 50. This is the level I want you to watch. In the grand scheme of things, when we talk about the RSI, in any kind of bull or bear market, I want you to keep it simple. And you say, okay, we could be at all these different numbers. Who cares? The simple way to understand it is, are we above 50? What you'll generally see in a healthy bull run is we're always above 50 for the entire bull run. We're never below it. In fact, the only time we're below 50 is the entire bear market holds resistance at 50. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. So if you look at price action and you line it up, you say, okay, this is the bull run. I can see that. Oh, now I get it. All of those numbers are above 50. That's easy to remember. And no, this is a bear market. All of those numbers are below 50. It makes it super simple. I want you to use that for the rest of your life. So when you get concerned and the RSI is plummeting and price is plummeting and everyone's like, oh my God, the world is over, and you look down and you see we're still above 50, there's no concern. It eliminates all of this FOMO and the Grandma Betty sensation where everybody in the herd is just always overreacting to literally everything. That's why they always fail. This is a long game. And if you change your mindset, you'll have way more success. And simple things like this to help you stay level-headed, like, oh man, nobody told me about this 50 thing. I really understand that. That's probably why you just subscribed. This is a channel where we keep it simple. We talk about just the facts, and I help you improve your trading, your investing, so you can have more success. Who wouldn't want to subscribe, right? When you understand, okay, price action, we've got this hammer candle, whatever that means, he's going to tell us later. It's holding resistance at this green line. I can see that. We've been range bound. Now I understand this range bound thing. We're usually always range bound. It's pretty rare that we trend. Now you understand we've got to really hone in on when we're going to have a trending market. That's the key to all of this, whether you lose all of your money or you make it. The majority of the time we're range bound and we're preparing for that next trending market, whether it be up or down. You have to plan ahead and understand the facts to really plan out what's going on. So let's get to the star of the show, and the other star of the show, the Stochastic RSI. Main star, this candle. We're going to come back to that in a moment, but let's revert back to this Stochastic RSI. Now again, RSI, overbought, oversold. Stochastic RSI, momentum. Now, what do we need in the market for Bitcoin to go up? We need momentum, plain and simple. Now, what you look at is on our momentum scale, it goes from 0 to 100. 100 is, hey, we're pretty much out of momentum. There's no more momentum to go up. And that's when we start to turn the corner and we start to go down. When we turn the corner and start to go down, that's where you see these big price drops, right? These huge price drops come when we start to go down in our momentum. Go figure. When we lose momentum, price goes down. Who would have thought? When we gain momentum, price goes up. Oh my God. This is such an easy game when you break it down and you understand it simply. So what Bitcoin does about every 6 months is we have a stochastic RSI cross, a momentum cross, right? You can see it here back in January 22. Momentum cross. 6 months later, another one, momentum cross. 6 months later, another one, momentum cross. 6 months later, another one, momentum cross. What we had recently is a little curveball. This was a fake out momentum cross. And we should have known that because it wasn't on schedule, right? This was in September. 6 months later, we had February. We're looking good, just about 6 months. And then what happened was we had our previous one in February and we tried to have another one in May. We didn't have enough time for that 6 months window to really build up. So we're still here, right? This was a fake out cross. Now, did we get overly excited? No, we were still range bound in price. Once again, I told you months ago, any price below 73,600 is irrelevant. It's still range bound. Any price above 58,000, still irrelevant. We're still range bound. If we were below 58,000, okay, we have some concerns. If we were above 73,600, that's great. We're making a new trend. We're a trending market. That's how these games work, right? So here we are, and you can see that we are getting close to having a stochastic RSI cross. The simple way to understand these is if the blue line is on top, we're going up, and if the red line or orange line is on top, we're going down. That's it in a nutshell. So we're about to get close to a cross, and we need something to help us. Maybe the candle we just printed. Let's revisit that. Now that we understand the RSI a little bit better of what's going on, we understand the stochastic RSI a little bit better. Let's understand this candle better, and that will make your life a little bit easier. When you understand this candle, this is a hammer candle. It looks pretty similar to a Dragonfly Doji. A Dragonfly Doji has a much thinner body, which means the open and close price was almost the same. With this one, we have a little bit of a fat body, which is pretty similar to the candle we printed here, albeit this is more textbook because this one had a little bit of an upper wick. But anytime you see a long lower wick that way, which I teach you repeatedly on this channel, this is momentum to the upside, plain and simple. This is not a dragonfly. This is a bullish hammer. A bullish hammer, by definition, is found at the bottoms of downtrends and typically signals a trend reversal. In other words, we had this trend here, right? We were trending up in price, right? And then we had an indecision candle followed by a candle with some momentum heading to the upside. That's how we got back up into this area. And if you remember our Cryptic candle series, we actually called out this indecision candle, which started this whole thing. And then we called the top. And then we had this candle print, which is a hanging man candle. This is a bearish reversal candle. And what did we see from prices of 71,000? We saw a bearish reversal down to below 60,000. And then we printed this, which is a bullish hammer candle. And this bullish hammer candle said momentum is coming back into the market. So we went from about 56 or 50, whatever we got, all the way back up to here. That's how this game works. So people can say whatever they want in the comments. Oh my God, every day we print a cryptic candle. Look, these candles decide everything. And we haven't done a cryptic candle video in over a month. And all the ones we have done have helped people make so much money. So shouldn't people be begging for more of them? Unless people just hate money. In that case, why the hell are you in crypto? So here we are, this candle, long lower tail, bullish hammer, found at the bottom of a downtrend, is very similar to this one, which gave us momentum back into this area. And this one was a little bit longer, which means there was more power, more momentum behind it. If we look back, right? And we had this candle. At that time, we were trying to have a stochastic RSI cross as well. And we had one, but it was a fake out. Now here we are again with a classic textbook bullish hammer, and we're getting ready for another one. In other words, What Bitcoin needs to have a stochastic RSI cross, something that we've been talking months about. If you go back and rewind the clocks, we talked about the candle right here. This is a Gravestone Doji found in a 2-month chart. So this is a very different timeline. I was just showing you a weekly chart. This is a 2-month chart. And those of you who may be new to the channel, this is something I showed you a couple months ago. And we printed this on a 2-month scale. This is a textbook Gravestone Doji, which by definition is found at the tops of rallies. It has a very thin body at the open and close, little to no lower wick, as you see here, and a huge long upper wick, suggesting that the trend is going to shift in reverse, meaning we were just trending up for quite some time and we should be trending down following this candle. I said the only thing that can null and void that candle is a stochastic RSI cross. That's what we said. It was the battle of the stochastic RSI cross versus the 2-month candle, which is why I put that as a bonus video in our email list completely for free. If you didn't see it earlier, you can unlock that video by going to cryptocrewuniversity.com completely free. You can open it instantly and get my real opinion. I've been telling you for months it's the battle of the 2-month candle versus the stochastic RSI, but I never gave you any clue of which way I'm leaning. Now, take a look at this. What Bitcoin needs to have a stochastic RSI is bullishness into the market. And what bullishness into the market we just got is a bullish hammer with a long lower wick, meaning we finally have what we're looking for. And maybe at this time next week, we're sitting here and we're looking at a legitimate stochastic RSI cross driven by this bullish hammer candle. That's likely what we could be looking at in the coming weeks simply because of this candle. And we've got to be ready for it. What's going to happen with the stochastic RSI cross? Well, one thing we've got to look at is this level right here, this moving average. As I told you before, when you look at any bull run that Bitcoin has ever had, we always have this line as support. Take a look. This moving average, by the way, you can get it on your chart. It's the 21 SMA. The 21 SMA, throw it on your chart. On a weekly chart, it'll look exactly like this. And what you'll notice is when we're in a bull run, we typically hold this as support. Yes, we can have a little wick down, but who cares? We care about the bodies. The wicks tell the story, the bodies tell the facts, and that will always be true. And when you look at any bull run, you can see these candles never closed as resistance inside of this, right? You can see that what we generally do is when we break this green line, there starts to be some trouble, even if it's in a bull run like we did in 2018, 2019. Again, we had a large rally, we were overextended, and we broke this green line here at a price of about 9,800, and we ended up falling to like 3,000, right? It took some time. This wasn't like, oh, the next day or a couple days later. These are weekly candles, so we're literally talking about how many days here? 168 days later. In other words, when we break this line, it's foreshadowing of what's to come, that there are some problems laying under the rug that we need to uncover. And then you can see, once we got back above here, we were parabolic, we were off to the races, holding support at this green line. And then once we broke it again, it was foreshadowing. It's foreshadowing of what's to come, right? We broke here. That's a concern. You can't be in a bull run and then just break it with a whole bunch of candles. And everyone was still saying like, hey, we're going back to 100K. Really? Have you looked at any charts? Like, there's no way we're going to be in the midst of a bull run, break this green line with a whole bunch of candles, and then suddenly go back to 100K. It makes no sense. So of course there was problems under the rug that needed to be uncovered, and they were. We ended up having a double top and then an absolute ridiculous collapse in Bitcoin. So what we had so far in this bull run is this is now the second time that we've closed below this green line. It's not the first line. The first was right here, back in August 2023, which we also covered right here on our channel. That was the tail end of our consolidation right before we started trending again. And we were waiting for that stochastic RSI cross to come, which it did. But once again, we have another candle closing below. This is our first one of this year right? First candle of this year closing below here. It's major, major news. So what we have on our hands is a situation where we have this bullish hammer that Bitcoin just printed. We have huge resistance above our head, and we're waiting on a stochastic RSI cross, which this candle should help us have this cross in the coming weeks. And we could have it as early as this time next week. I could be sitting in this chair and we're talking about a legitimate stochastic RSI cross. Today, I'm unlocking a huge bonus video. My prediction on Bitcoin's next huge move with the 2-month candle versus the stochastic RSI. This prediction will not be discussed here on YouTube. It will be for free on my email list. If you're on my email list, this video is waiting for you right now. If you're not on my email list, you are completely missing out, and you need to sign up right now for free, and you can instantly unlock this video. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com. Go now and instantly unlock this highly important video. By the way, you can see that even now, months later, it's still the story of the weekly stochastic RSI cross versus the 2-month candle. Can this cross have Bitcoin make a new all-time high, or is the 2-month candle going to win? We are here months later and it's still the same exact story. But to get the real scoop of the bigger picture, the 2-month candle versus the stochastic RSI, I'm going to give my raw, uncut version of what is going on, what I genuinely think is happening behind the scenes on the bigger scale to help you prepare for that next move. To unlock that video instantly, just go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. I'll see you on the inside. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.